Hey everybody, and welcome to Leia's Lair. In this episode, I've prepared a quiz to determine which force power you'd be strongest with in the Star Wars universe. If you're enjoying the videos, please give them a like, share, and subscribe to the channel so I can continue making them for you. Now before we begin, grab a pen and paper or something to keep track of your answers and scores. After each question, select one response that aligns with how you choose to be in the Star Wars universe. It will then reveal how many points each response is worth. Add that number to your tally. At the end, we'll add up all the points from the questions to determine which result you got. Alright, let's begin. Question 1. You're on a mission as an ambassador when all of a sudden droidekas show up to try and kill you.
Shield generators! Stand off.
Do you A. Attack by throwing your lightsaber at them. B. Lift them off the ground with the Force and crush them against a wall. C. Use Force speed to escape and get out of there. D. Try to deflect their blaster fire back at them. E. Run at them and attack with your lightsaber. Question 2. Your master is coming back to the ship from a mission when he's jumped by an unknown enemy.
Go! QUI-GON's in trouble.
Do you A. Tell the ship to take off and leave your master. Your mission is more important. B. Tell the pilot to fly low to help your master escape. C. Jump down and help him defend against his opponent. D. Use the Force and do what you can from the ship. Do not go out there, it is not worth it. E. Use the ship to try and shoot the opponent, even if it risks your master's life as well. Question 3. Your old boss has information about your mother's whereabouts.
Ting michasa hopa. Mi boss ka Dashmi Skywalker.
Do you A. Threaten him to tell you using Force choke. B. Hold your lightsaber up to his neck. He should talk pretty fast. C. Use mind probe to invade his mind and retrieve the information. D. Use Jedi Mind Trick to persuade him to tell you. E. Fix his droid and ask him about the information. Question 4. While on a mission, your master's ship is in trouble from buzz droids.
I'm hit! Anakin? Buzz droids.
Do you A. Try to bump them off with your fighter, even if it risks both your ships in the process. B. Try to shoot them off, even if it risks his ship in the process. C. Fire a torpedo at his ship, destroy the enemy and your master in the process. D. Save him whatever the cost. He is your master, he made you what you are. E. Leave him be, he can figure it out. You must carry on with the mission. Question 5. While training on Dagobah, your master wants you to enter a dark-sided cave.
That place is strong with the dark side of the Force. A domain of evil it is. And you must go.
Do you A. Enter the dark-sided cave with hope to increase your power. B. Take your weapons just to be safe and enter the cave. C. Leave your weapons and enter the cave. D. Make the cave your home, you live and breathe the dark side. E. Do not enter the cave with or without your weapons. Question 6. Your master is going to kill your son for not joining you. Do you A. Save your son by deflecting the lightning with your lightsaber, then duel your master. B. Let him kill your son. How dare he not join you? C. Save your son by picking your master up and throwing him into the reactor shaft. D. Do nothing. This is a one-on-one battle. E. Stop your master. You want to be the one to kill your son for his treason. Question 7. You are on a mission and enter a Coruscant cantina looking for information. Do you A. Threaten patrons with your lightsaber until they tell you information? B. Politely ask around to find out if anyone knows anything? C. Offer people credits in exchange for information? D. Use force listening to eavesdrop into conversations? E. Ask the bartender for any information that can help you. Question 8. You have teamed up with a Mandalorian, but they end up betraying you.
Power will be seamless.
And the means to expand to other neutral systems.
I don't have an interest in the other systems. Your vision no longer matters. Now you'll do as I say.
Do you A. Disarm him and let him escape with his life? B. Behead him and claim Mandalore as your own? C. Threaten him to rethink his decision, or else? D. Cut off his arm as a warning not to mess with you? E. Try to convince him otherwise. Question 9. How do you see the Force? A. An energy field created by living things. B. Something to control and bend to your wishes. C. A source of your power. D. A balance of good and evil. Question 10. What would be your Force faction? A. Dark Jedi. B. Sith. C. Jedi. D. Grey Jedi. Alright, that was the last question. Good job on finishing the quiz. Now just add up all the points from the questions and we'll find out which result you have in the Star Wars universe. Between 10 and 16, you got Force Healing. Force Healing is a power where the user can accelerate the natural healing process rapidly. The more skilled one was with this Force power, the quicker they could heal wounds. Additionally, the greater the skill of the Force user, the more serious the wounds that they could heal, to the point of fixing internal damage and re-establishing function in lost organs. Masters of this power were usually very caring and selfless, opting to take care of others first, even before themselves. Between 17 and 22, you got Jedi Mind Trick. The Jedi Mind Trick is the ability for the Force user to influence the thoughts of especially weak-minded individuals. This was often done to the benefit of the Force user. They would usually change the tone of their voice and follow it with a particular hand wave in front of the face of the person being manipulated. If used by a group of Jedi simultaneously, it could exert a greater influence on those who would normally be able to resist. Masters of this power were usually quite clever and liked to avoid conflict if they could. Between 23 and 28, you got Animal Bond. Animal Bond is a Force power that allowed the user to connect mentally to a wild animal to either calm them or to control them. Once the animal had been calmed, the Force user could use the animal however they pleased, such as for defense as a guard animal or to ride. In order to master this power, the Force user had to let go of all inhibitions and give themselves to the power of the Force. Masters of this power usually had a strong connection to nature through the Force and were highly empathetic. Between 29 and 34, you got Force Projection. Force projection is the ability for oneself to seemingly appear in one place while actually being in another. The user would be able to physically interact with their surroundings despite not being physically present. They could project something other than their true physical appearance with an object they did not actually have. Masters of this power were thought to be extremely powerful in the Force as it required immense concentration. Between 35 and 40, you got Telekinesis. Telekinesis is the ability to move and manipulate objects using the Force instead of by physical means. For an unskilled Force user, large objects were more difficult to manipulate. However, with more training and practice, the size of the object became an obsolete factor in the Force user's ability to manipulate it. One could affect targets in close proximity or even over long distances. Masters of this power were very innovative and were highly connected to the Force. Between 41 and 46, you got Force Deflection. Force Deflection was the ability to use the Force to deflect energy-based attacks such as blaster bolts and Force lightning. Using this technique would require great skill in the Force. Users could choose to deflect the attacks away and out of harm from anyone, or back to the source. This ability would be very handy for users who were without a lightsaber during an attack. Masters of this power were defensive in nature and typically had quick reflexes. Between 47 and 52, you got Mind Probe. The Mind Probe was a Force power that was typically practiced by dark-sided users, though light-sided users also had the ability. It was a highly invasive technique that allowed the Force user to search for useful information in the thoughts of their target. If the target was also a Force user, or at least Force sensitive, they had the ability to not only resist such probes, but to also reverse the probe on the original Force user. Masters of this power were usually impatient and did not like to waste time when completing missions. Between 53 and 58, you got Force Choke. Force Choke was an attack using the Force where the user could channel their emotions, such as anger and hate, to apply telekinetic grip on their target's neck and choke them. Typically used at close distances, those especially powerful with this Force power had the ability to use it across greater distance or via a view screen. Additionally, those powerful with Force Choke also had the ability to simultaneously lift their targets off the ground while they choked them. Masters of this power were typically emotional and liked to demonstrate their power to others. Between 59 and 64, you got Force Lightning. Force Lightning was an ability that was utilized most by the Sith and involved releasing electricity from their hands and severely harming their target through electrocution. If the charge was large enough, you could see the electricity through the skin of the target penetrating their skeletal system. Masters of this power were usually sadistic and would gain enjoyment from the suffering of others. Between 65 and 70, you got Midi-chlorian Manipulation. Midi-chlorian Manipulation was the ability to create, maintain, or save a life through the influence of midi-chlorians to a certain degree. To use this ability, it required immense knowledge of the dark side of the Force. Masters of this power were usually quite manipulative and extremely powerful in the dark side of the Force. Interested in finding out more about who you'd be in the Star Wars universe? Check out my other quizzes. Anyways, I hope you had fun completing the quiz, so which one did you get? Let me know down below in the comments section, and remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more great videos to come. I hope to see you all again in Leia's Lair.